5 steps to building an unshakable confidence despite your fears and failures. Hello everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Nancy Duarte and I'm going to be speaking to you today about the subject that brought you here in the first place for the next 40 minutes. Who is this for? This is for female professionals who are feeling stuck and overwhelmed by tolerating something that is less than the best. Whether you've been struggling for years or just feeling stuck, either way, this is for you. Here is what we're going to cover in the next 40 minutes. We are going to cover how to stop when you're upset in relationships and keep coldly silent, flatten into a doormat, or explode like a volcano. Even if you think you're the one carrying around with the open door of conflict. How to stop people from stealing your energy and robbing your joy. And stop feeling bad about yourself. How to change your response and attitude, even if the circumstances don't change. How to leverage your relationships, even though you're broken or suffering. You will learn a way to define your moment and rise up and take control of your life. How to do all of this without feeling frustrated, self-centered, or exhausted. Or do anything you don't want to do. My promise to you is the 5 steps to building an unshakable confidence despite your fears and failures. But before we get into all of that, I just want to take a moment and check in with you. Does this sound like you? Do you find yourself upset by criticism or disapproval and you avoid doing anything where you may be judged or measured against other people? Do you secretly second guess yourself? It's a tiny message in your brain that you don't believe in yourself and you fear making decisions, especially big ones. Do you see other women have the confidence you want and you find yourself comparing yourself to them and you have no idea how they do it? And you're worrying way too hard and predicting that disaster is about to strike because you find yourself constantly reminding yourself of your mistakes and failings. Do you feel like you are your worst enemy and you think back on all the previous relationships you've sabotaged because all you do is dwell on your past? Are you secretly terrified that you may stay stuck like this forever? If any of this sounds like you, I have good news. None of those are the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't made the shifts. You're going to talk about what exactly those shifts are at the moment. But for now, just know this. Once you make them, you will have complete control of your life and handle whatever comes up, feel ready for everyday challenges. You can have super great mental well-being by establishing high self-esteem and value as a person to yourself and others. You'll realize that the invisible and feeling unimportant in your life was never there to begin with, and you'll push through to trust and you will get exactly what you need to find the courage and confidence to make the changes that matter. To trust, to be bold, and to be secure faster than you ever thought possible. And you'll do all of this while tapping back into the joy you first had and jump out of bed bursting with energy and excitement. You'll walk into the office with confidence and power. Your friends will start to notice that there's something different about you. Your family will beg to know what your secret is. Your spouse will look at you with renewed hunger in his eyes. Who I am. As a pioneer of 24 years of counseling experience and former therapist, has a track record at taking top female professionals to the greatest level of success by showing them how to get more out of life than they're currently experiencing in our coaching business, using the exact strategy you're about to learn. Known as the mentor of mentors, we've helped dozens of female professionals grow by blowing their cap off a life with no limits by increasing their potential. Specialize in helping women leverage their current behaviors, but to take on a new set of truths that require you to admit that those old truths were indeed lies that perpetuated a way of life that almost always led to disaster in one form or another. Known as examining each of your capacities and provides rich insight on self-awareness as well as clear, actionable advice on how to increase your potential. That will stay with you, and as you know it, your life will never be the same. It's time to take a moral stand. Honesty is a cornerstone of an authentic and meaningful life. When we make a moral stand to be honest with ourselves, we create a foundation of integrity and trust that can support us as we go through life. When we are honest, we communicate openly and clearly with ourselves and others. We are able to present the facts about our lives with confidence, and our lives become more consistent and predictable. We can be sure that our choices are based on a solid foundation of truth. Honesty is not just about telling the truth. It is also about being true to yourself and understanding what you need to live a fulfilling life. When you practice honesty, you gain the power to choose the right path and make decisions that serve your highest good. Honesty allows you to speak your truth and express your feelings without fear of judgment. It also helps you to confront difficult situations and take responsibility for your actions. Being honest with yourself is a courageous act that requires strength and vulnerability. It may be uncomfortable to look at yourself objectively and own up to your mistakes. But honesty is also essential for growth and transformation. When you're honest with yourself, you can better understand what you need to be happy and fulfilled. You can learn from your mistakes and take the necessary steps to create a better life. It is time to take a moral stand to be honest with yourself. When you make the commitment to be honest with yourself and others, you will find more clarity and purpose in your life. Honesty will empower you to create meaningful relationships and live an authentic life that reflects your true values and desires. Case study number 1. Within 4 weeks, I thought I had to rebuild relationships with others in order to take control of my life. It was about rebuilding a relationship with myself. Utterly refreshing and badass. Yvette. Change your behavior. Too many people hear the word capacity or potential and assume it's a limitation. They assume their capacity is set, especially if they're beyond a certain age. You begin to lose hope in yourself and give up the idea that their capacity or their potential can grow. You begin to stay stuck and manage whatever you think you've got. Like Charles Schultz says, life is like a 10-speed bike. Most of us have gears we never use. Unearthing your beliefs can be a daunting task, but it is an important part of self-discovery. Our beliefs are the foundation of our lives and dictate our decisions, perspective, feelings, and interactions. So it is essential that we take the time to examine what we truly believe in. Here are some tips to help you uncover your core beliefs. Reflect on your life experiences. Take a step back and look at the events and experiences that have shaped your life. Think about the moments that have had the most impact and try to identify any patterns or themes in your life. Examine your values. Your values are the things that you prioritize and believe are important. Ask yourself what you value most in life and what kind of person you want to be. Analyze your decisions. Our decisions are often shaped by our beliefs, so look back at the decisions you've made in the past and the reasons behind them. Think about the choices you have made, both good and bad, and what they say about your beliefs. Listen to your inner voice. Spend some time in silence and pay attention to your intuition and inner voice. Ask yourself questions and try to recognize any patterns in your thoughts. Talk to people you trust. Talking to people who know you well can be a great way to uncover your beliefs. Ask them questions about how they perceive you and what they think are your core values and beliefs. By reflecting on your life experiences, examining your values, and analyzing your decisions. By listening to your inner voice and talking to people you trust, you can unearth your underlying beliefs. This process of self-discovery can be difficult, but it is essential to discover who you really are and understanding what drives your actions. Set higher standards. Are you feeling like you're not living up to the full potential of what you're capable of? If so, there are two primary reasons you may not be connected to your capacity in reaching that potential. The first reason is that you may be stuck believing that your capacity is high or low. You may accept that your capacity is predetermined and that there's nothing you can do to reach beyond this. This kind of mindset can be extremely limiting and can prevent you from achieving the success you desire. The second reason is that you may have settled into a level of achievement that you believe is the best that you can do. You may think that you have reached your peak and that there's no more growth or development possible for you. This can be a dangerous assumption to make, as it can lead to stagnation and lack of motivation. The good news is that you can realize the possibilities that can help you reach your full potential. All lasting growth requires awareness. It is important to recognize that your capacity is not set in stone and that you can push yourself to be better. If you will put in the effort and make the changes, you can unlock your capacity and reach for greater heights. Your life is a direct reflection of the standards you hold, both for yourself and for others. This is nearly universal truth that applies to every aspect of your life. From your profession to your appearance, your relationships, and your finances, they're all governed by the standards you hold them to. Most of the time, these standards are set unconsciously, either adapted from the environment or indoctrinated into you by your family. And your standards are usually set far lower than what you're able to achieve. Identifying your standards. Finding out what your standards are for different areas of your life is as simple as taking the time to just observe that part of your life. Discovering what you need to know. What stops people from raising the bar? It's usually a lack of awareness. On top of that, there are factors that also work against us and prevent us from developing great self-awareness, such as drifting, excuses, distraction, absence of personal reflection, not willing to pay the price to gain experience. What is holding you back? Have you ever heard how an elephant is trained? Even though female elephants stay with their mothers for life and males until their early teens. The first step in training elephants to perform tricks is to break the bond between babies and their mothers. When they are 18 to 24 months old, calves are roped by all four legs and tied by the neck to an anchor elephant who leads them away from their mothers. The frantic moms are restrained by having all four legs chained to the wall, while the babies try to run away and fight having the ropes put on. The babies take one last look at their mothers and are dragged away. Next, the baby elephants are mentally and physically broken. All four legs are tied to a bar so that all they can do for up to 23 hours a day for up to 6 months is stand on a concrete floor. This is emotional and physically devastating to young Asian elephants who want to only learn how to be an elephant alongside their family. In their natural habitats, they would spend nearly all their waking hours walking, grazing, dust bathing, swimming, and socializing. The ropes used to restrain the baby elephants often are tied so tightly around their legs that the animals can incur deep and painful lesions. Their cries, which can be heard from outside the barn, intensify when they see their mothers walk into the barn. After up to 6 long months of fighting their restraints, their once curious and energetic elephants are broken. When they stop trying to run away from their trainers during daily walks, circus training begins in earnest. The baby elephants are bound by ropes and forced to learn how to perform a down salute and to lie down on command and sit on tubs. After a year or more of psychological and physical torment, the baby elephants are ready for the road. They'll be transported from place to place for weeks on end. Regardless of how exhausted the elephants are, the show goes on. They will spend the majority of their lives in chains. People are like those elephants. We have often believed that some restrictions we may have experienced earlier in life are permanent. Or we've been told by our parents, teachers, abusive spouse, boss, and toxic people that we actually cannot be more and we have limitations and there's no possibility to taking on the journey in life that we long for. How do you know if you're not aware of your possibilities? You are not making conscious decisions about what you believe. You change your story claiming that bad things always happen for a reason. Your personal narrative prevents you from reaching your true potential and transforming the quality of your life. Deal with your limiting beliefs. For instance, case study number 2, Lily D. When a woman discovers her husband is having an affair with her neighbor, it can be an incredibly traumatic experience. The emotional pain of adultery can be incredibly difficult to get over, and it can take a long time to heal from the hurt and betrayal. Lily's story is a powerful testament to the power of vulnerability. After months of denial and broken trust, she was finally able to accept the truth of what had happened. Getting over the emotional pain of adultery can be a difficult and lengthy process, but it is possible. Taking time for yourself, talking to a professional, and engaging in healthy self-care activities can all help you to heal and move on from the pain of betrayal. She was stuck for 12 years comparing herself to the other woman, and her self-worth suffered as a result. But Lily was determined to take control of her life, and she found the strength to reconnect with herself in a period of just 6 weeks. She learned how to separate the facts from her story, and this laid the foundation for the acceptance of her relationship with her husband. Lily's story is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's a way forward to a brighter future. Through her vulnerability, she was able to practice self-compassion and ultimately forgive her husband and herself. Lily's story is an inspiration to all of us who have ever felt crushed and helpless. It is a reminder that we can always find our way back to strength and acceptance. Shift 2, raise the bar. One of the biggest traps we can fall into is that of people-pleasing. We often think that if we make everyone around us happy, then that will make us happy too. But this is rarely the case. Pleasing everyone else can actually lead to us feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and drained. It's time to raise the bar for yourself and take back control. The first step to raising the bar for yourself is to set boundaries. The next step is to prioritize your own needs. Put yourself first and give yourself permission to do the things you want to do. Make sure you're taking time to do the things that make you feel fulfilled and energized. This can be anything from taking a yoga class to reading a book to simply taking a long walk. Finally, be mindful of how you are spending your time. Is it really worth it to spend hours on an activity that isn't really giving you anything in return? If not, then it's time to reevaluate and find something that adds value to your life. Raising the bar for yourself can be a tricky process, but it's worth it in the long run. By setting boundaries, prioritizing your own needs, and being mindful of how you are spending your time, you can take back control and start living life on your own terms. No more people pleasing. Just you and your own needs. Case study number 3, Lisa B. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was on the brink of burnout, feeling stretched and exhausted, trying my best to keep everyone in my life happy. But no matter how hard I tried, it was always felt like I was failing. I was constantly exhausted, depleted, and overwhelmed and full of resentment. I longed for someone to give me permission to take care of myself, to do something for me. I have become a recovering pleaser, unable to find the time to take care of myself, let alone connect with my partner on a deeper level. I was at the exact moment that I stopped being everything to everyone else. I realized that in order to be able to take care of my family, I had to start taking care of myself first and raise my bar. I re-evaluated my priorities and realized that I needed to make myself a priority in my life. I started setting boundaries and making time for myself to take care of my physical, emotional, and mental health. I no longer felt the need to be everything for everyone else. I accepted that I could not make everyone happy all of the time and that it was okay to put myself first. I also realized that in order to have a healthy marriage, my husband and I needed to find a way to connect on a deeper level. I began to make a conscious effort to nurture our relationship, carving out time to be together and enjoy each other's company. It was a challenging balance, but I'm also so grateful that I took the time to make myself a priority. I now feel more fulfilled, energized, and connected in my marriage. I am no longer the person who was trying to be everything to everyone else, but instead I'm someone who has raised the bar for herself and my marriage. The secret weapon. Believe it or not, we don't realize the crippling effect this mindset has on our lives. We don't realize that every negative thought undermines our self-confidence and diminishes our ability to stand tall in the face of life's challenges and our everyday choices. And of course, it takes courage to take you through a life-changing, transformational process. The transformational process begins when you look beneath the surface of your thoughts, your beliefs, and your choices. You also have other capacities that rely more on your choices. While it's true that talent is still a factor, it is less important in these areas. I want to help you identify those choices. The Mindset Reboot strategy increases your capacity and you will desire to achieve more. Many of us can feel stuck and limited in our growth, but few of us take the time to consider what is actually holding us back from expanding our capacity. The Mindset Reboot strategy encourages us to remove our limitations and open up the world to us. But first, we must identify what is holding us back. For some, it can be fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, or fear of the unknown can all contribute to holding us back from achieving our full potential. Other times, it can be our own self-doubt, where we don't believe that we can reach the level of success we desire. Our comfort level can also limit us. We may be unwilling to take the risks necessary to increase our capacity. It is also important to recognize that our environment can be a limitation. People who don't encourage our growth because of their limitations may surround us. We may also be in an environment where resources are limited or where access to the right connections and networks are difficult. Finally, our mindset can be a limitation. We may have an underlying belief that we are not worthy of achieving our goals and dreams, or that we're not capable of success. We may also be lacking the right tools and strategies to better equip us for success. These are just a few of the things that can be holding us back from increasing our capacity and achieving success. But the Mindset Reboot strategy can help us to identify our limitations and remove them. We can start by recognizing the things that are holding us back and then taking action to eliminate them. With the right mindset, strategy, and action, we can increase our capacity and open up the world of possibilities for us. What's holding you back? People are like those elephants. We often believe that some of the restrictions we may have experienced earlier in life are permanent, or we have been told by our parents, teachers, abusive spouse, boss, or toxic people that we actually do not have the capacity to be more and we have limitations and there is no possibility to take on the journey in life that we long for. This is what is holding you back. Staying stuck in your problems leads to a dangerous cycle. Believe the negative stories we tell ourselves. Think we can't achieve something? It becomes so comfortable with the negative beliefs we have about ourselves that we don't even realize that they're not true. More likely to believe the negative things we've heard in the past. Thoughts of fear, worry, stress, comparison, and perfectionism. Focused on the worst case scenarios instead of looking at the bigger picture. Stressed and overwhelmed and unable to think clearly. Comparing ourselves to others can make us feel inadequate. Cannot focus on what is right. You are deeply invested in the stories you tell yourself about yourself. You're losing your identity. You no longer remember who you are or what you want to be. You fear if you lose some of your limiting beliefs, you're losing a part of yourself. Your mind continues to look for evidence to confirm what you already believe about yourself. Shift for the new way. We all have limiting beliefs that keep us from living our best lives. Whether it's believing we're not smart enough, not attractive enough, or not capable enough, these beliefs can hold us back from achieving our goals. But why are our limiting beliefs so powerful? The answer lies in the Reboot mindset strategy. It's so much easier to remember the bad things that happen to us than the good. With our limiting beliefs, this means that we're more likely to remember the negative experiences that prove our beliefs are true, rather than any positive experiences that disprove them. For example, if you believe you're a terrible public speaker, you're likely to remember the times you stumbled over your words while forgetting the times when you gave a great speech. Over time, these negative experiences become the evidence we use to reinforce our limiting beliefs. Our limiting beliefs are powerful because they're backed up by your own personal experiences. They're easy to believe because we have plenty of evidence to prove they're true. But just because our beliefs have evidence doesn't mean they are true. It's important to challenge our limiting beliefs by looking for evidence that disproves them. By setting new goals that help us break free from our limiting beliefs. If you've stayed listening this far, then you're the kind of person who doesn't want to stay where you are right now. You know you have to overcome some limiting beliefs, but that can be tricky. For the most part, they are unconscious, meaning you don't walk around reciting them like a creed. Uncovering your limiting beliefs takes time and work, but it is possible we can do this by focusing our successes and accomplishments. By setting new goals that help us break free from our limiting beliefs. Stop looking for approval from others. Move from your environment that no longer serves you. Start living as the person you want to be. Identify your limiting beliefs. Take time for self-reflection. Be mindful of your environment. Expect setbacks and keep going anyway. Small steps will bring you forward. Tell yourself new stories. Know that it is you who tells the story. Deal with your limiting beliefs. Recondition your mind. Outlook your future. Explore your career potential. Take control of your finances. Take control of your health. Opportunities life is offering you. Turn your negatives into positives. What beliefs are you ready to let go of? Which beliefs are you willing to adopt? Evaluate your belief system, the glue that holds it all together. Challenging yourself is the glue that holds it all together, reframing your thinking. It's important to recognize when your thoughts are limiting you and then take the steps to challenge them. Doing so can help you break out of old patterns of thinking and to develop new perspectives. The first step in reframing your thinking is to challenge yourself. Ask yourself questions that are uncomfortable and push you to think outside of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to think big and dream bigger. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. Look at the positive aspects of life. Instead of focusing on the negative, look for the good in all situations. Look for the opportunities and possibilities that are available to you. Focus on the potential you have and the growth that comes with it. Once you have identified your potential, it's time to take action. Don't be afraid to take risks and try new things. Don't be afraid to fail. Every failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. Today, I promised you will have complete control of your life and handle whatever comes up. Feel ready for everyday challenges. You can have a super great mental well-being by establishing a high self-esteem and value as a person to yourself and others. You'll realize that the invisible and feeling unimportant in your life was never there to begin with. And you'll push through to trust, and you will get exactly what you need to find courage and confidence to make the changes that matter. To trust, to be bold, to be secure, faster than you ever thought possible. And you'll do all of this while tapping back into the joy you first had and jump out of bed bursting with energy and excitement. What you need to win. It's to take a moral stand. Honesty is the cornerstone of an authentic and meaningful life. When we make a moral stand to be honest with ourselves, we create a foundation of integrity and trust that can support us as we go through life. Now you have a choice. Continuing to stay stuck in your problems can be a major setback in your life, leading to feelings of frustration, helplessness, and even depression. It's difficult to move past these issues, but it's essential to take the steps to break free and move forward. It can lead to many negative outcomes such as stress, anxiety, depression, and even physical health problems. Furthermore, it can prevent you from achieving your goals and living up to your full potential. As women, we have been trained to stop living, abandon ourselves, stay small in body, ambition, and voice. Look, There are other options and things can get really realistic for you. The good news is that you don't have to stay stuck in your problems. You have a choice. You can choose to break free from this cycle and start believing the positive things you hear about yourself. You can choose to believe that you are capable and worthy of success. You can choose to believe that you are good enough and that you can achieve your goals. You no longer have to be conditioned to believe that the ideal woman has to be accommodating, polite, silent, and complicit with the abuse of power. Once you decide to break free and take action, you can start to see real results, bringing it all together. How can I help? My team and I have set aside some time to speak with you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your life today. Whatever your biggest challenges are, we've seen it all and we know how to overcome it. In this session, we will work with you to craft a step-by-step game plan to hit you not to remain the same, but to live in such a way that each day, year, moment, relationship, conversation, and crisis is the material we use to become a truer, more beautiful version of yourself. The cost? Absolutely free. But is there a catch? The catch is, it's not for everyone. Who is this for? You must be willing to hand over all of your worries and struggles greater than yourself. You must surrender your ego self and bring forth conscious awareness. You must hold yourself to the highest standards of professionalism and integrity. You must have faith. If that's you, I look forward to our call.